Good morning, and welcome to Barbara's Bulletin. I'm your host, Barbara, and we're glad you're joining us for another informative episode. Today, we're diving into a developing story out of Texas that has significant implications for the balance of power in Congress. As we've been following, a group of Democratic lawmakers in Texas made headlines over the weekend by fleeing the state to prevent a vote on a redistricting plan that would give Republicans an advantage in the U.S. House of Representatives. The plan, which was proposed by Republican Governor Greg Abbott, would create 5 new Republican-leaning seats in the state. Now, Governor Abbott has responded by filing a lawsuit against one of the Democratic lawmakers, Representative Wu, seeking to remove him from office for abandoning his duties as a public servant. The governor argues that the departure of more than 50 Democrats constitutes an abandonment of their office, justifying their removal. But Democrats are pushing back, saying they're using every tool at their disposal to protect democracy and prevent what they see as a blatant attempt at gerrymandering. Gerrymandering, for those who may not be familiar, is the practice of redrawing electoral boundaries to favor one political party over another. This story has sparked a national debate about the role of partisan politics in shaping our electoral maps. Republicans argue that Democrats are trying to stifle their efforts to redraw the maps to reflect changing demographics and population shifts. Meanwhile, Democrats claim that Republicans are attempting to manipulate the system to maintain their power. As we explore this complex issue, it's essential to consider the potential consequences for our democracy. Redistricting can have a significant impact on the balance of power in Congress, which is why both parties are so invested in shaping the electoral maps. We'll continue to follow this story and provide updates as more information becomes available. In the meantime, we want to hear from you. What do you think about the role of partisan politics in redistricting? Should lawmakers be allowed to redraw electoral boundaries to favor their party? Or should these decisions be made by independent commissions? We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. We're continuing our coverage of international news, and today we have an update from Spain. According to reports from El País newspaper, the Spanish government has shelved its plans to purchase F-35 fighter jets from U.S. aerospace giant Lockheed Martin. This decision comes as a result of Spain's commitment to spend most of its additional defense budget within Europe. The Spanish government had initially earmarked €6.25 billion for the purchase of new fighter jets, but it seems that they will now be considering alternative options from European manufacturers. The two possibilities on the table are the Eurofighter, which is manufactured by a consortium, including Airbus, BAE Systems, and Leonardo, and the Future Combat Air System, which is being developed by Dassault Aviation, Airbus, and Indra Systems. This development is significant, not only for Spain's defense strategy, but also for the broader context of international relations and trade. The decision to favor European-made fighter jets over the U.S.-made F-35 may have implications for Spain's relationship with the United States, particularly given the previous criticisms from U.S. President Donald Trump regarding Spain's defense spending. It's worth noting that Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez has been working towards increasing his country's defense spending to meet the NATO target of 2% of gross domestic product. However, he has faced criticism for not committing to further increases, which led to threats of additional tariffs on Spanish goods from President Trump. As we analyze the situation, it becomes clear that the decision to opt out of purchasing F-35 fighter jets is as much about economic and geopolitical considerations as it is about military strategy. By choosing to invest in European defense projects, Spain is not only bolstering its own military capabilities, but also reinforcing its commitment to European cooperation and self-sufficiency in defense matters. We will continue to monitor this story and provide updates as more information becomes available. The implications of this decision will likely be far-reaching, affecting not just the defense sector but also broader economic and political landscape. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. I'm your host, Barbara. As we wrap up today's show, we're taking a closer look at the latest developments in Ukraine. The country has been making headlines with its ongoing efforts to combat corruption and strengthen its democratic institutions. According to recent polls, Ukrainians' trust in President Volodymyr Zelensky has taken a hit following rare wartime protests against a move to curb the power of anti-corruption watchdogs. A leading Kyiv pollster found that 58% of Ukrainians currently trust Mr. Zelensky, down from an 18-month high of 74% in May. The survey also revealed that those who distrust Mr. Zelensky cited corruption and his handling of the war as the top two reasons. This is a significant development, given Ukraine's ongoing struggle to root out corruption and improve governance, key requirements for joining the European Union. In a related story, Ukrainians have been protesting against a move to subordinate anti-corruption agencies to a hand-picked prosecutor general. Thousands took to the streets in late July, prompting Mr. Zelensky and his ruling party to quickly reverse course. As we analyze these developments, it's clear that Ukraine is at a critical juncture in its history. The country's efforts to strengthen its democratic institutions and combat corruption will have far-reaching implications for its future. It's also worth noting that the latest survey involved over 1,000 respondents across government-controlled Ukraine, providing a comprehensive snapshot of public sentiment. As one pollster noted, the persistent downward trend in trust for Mr. Zelensky should serve as a warning, a reminder that the authorities must be attentive to the concerns of their citizens. As we close out today's show, it's essential to recognize the complexities and nuances at play in Ukraine. The country's ongoing struggle to balance its democratic aspirations with the challenges of war and corruption is a story that will continue to unfold in the days and weeks ahead. That's all for today's Barbara's Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.